Thank you for joining us here at 8 o'clock on KARE 11 Plus. We appreciate you streaming with us this morning. As you head out the door today, be prepared for some slick roads. The first measurable snowfall we've seen in weeks has been hitting all morning.
Yeah, and it's definitely having an impact for the morning commute, which is why we've deemed today a KARE 11 weather impact alert morning. And John, and again, it's been not easy for the early morning commute.
No, and a lot of the snow, for some of us, was only ½ to an inch when you get down in the southwest pocket of the viewing area here in the metro, and that still caused issues. Still ongoing snow, though. As you guys are watching here on the live stream, we could see some snow going on. White Bear, Forest Lake, East Bethel. We're adding up another inch up here. I did get a report from Forest Lake at 2 inches, Coon Rapids 2 inches. Everyone else in the metro was ½ an inch. So it really was just ½ an inch. And then I guess I want to include East Metro. East Metro, White Bear and Woodbury, 1.5 inches there, 2 inches north. So that's really where the impacts have been. And we've seen the impacts continuing up there. And you can see actually North Branch, Forest Lake, Osceola still snowing up there over to Monticello. This is all shifting as we speak, and that southwest pocket is pretty much done. Just some flurries right now in Waconia to Hutchinson over towards Norwood, Young America as things start to wrap up. I did see accumulations, 1 up in Alexandria, 4.5, maybe a 5 in Alexandria, and looks like 4 to 6 inches up there. They were the winners. We'll see what Hinckley comes in at because it's been snowing pretty good in Hinckley. So the next couple of hours, we're going to keep the impact going. Looks like the snow is winding down here over the next hour, but we'll see that especially north of the Twin Cities. This will be through 1. If you're already, let's say in Carver County or Scott County, no, there's no impact anymore. Things are already clearing. But we're going to be seeing this through the evening. Now, we'll get some cold air here tonight. Tomorrow morning, temperatures around 0 degrees in some parts of the viewing area, so watch out for the refreezing there. So here's where we're at now, just really breaking apart, and as we go to 10 o'clock, it'll just tame down to some flurries as we go into around 11 o'clock. This is noon here. Notice at noon, not a bunch going on, just flakes. We should be able to clear things out. We'll clear out later tonight, and that'll actually cool us down. But for the most part, here's what accumulations look like. I did, like I said, get accumulations, couple reports coming in of 4 or 5 inches in Alexandria. So that makes sense. That would be the extreme high side. I will say St. Cloud, it was more 2 inches of snow. We could still maybe get up to 3 up there. That might be a tad overdone. But for the most part, this is what I'm thinking will happen. 3 or 4 up in Osceola, 4 or 5 in Cambridge. Blaine area, Hugo, 2 to 3. And again, Forest Lake kind of on the edge of this. This is where we could see a little bit more up in Forest Lake. Elk River, a couple of inches of snow. And this has picked it up pretty well. If you're in the South Metro, Eden Prairie, Prior Lake, Waconia, not a lot of snow has fallen, and it looks like things are already wrapping up. I had 0.7 in Plato, and I had 0.5 in Eden Prairie. And that was it. And I think it's pretty much done there. Now, tomorrow, again, it does look like we're going to have a nice, quiet day for your Tuesday. I will tell you, it's a cold day for this time of the year, still about 8 degrees below average. Then we're going to be talking about Wednesday and maybe even Saturday, a couple of chances of snow, and these could be bigger. We could see 3 or 4 inches maybe on the one on Wednesday, 3 or 4 inches on Saturday. It depends on where it's going to be. So that's something we're going to be talking about. I'll show you the 7-day forecast coming up in a little bit, but the roads still don't look good, do they, Cece?
They really don't. I mean, take a look at the map here before you head out the door. A lot of red, a lot of yellow, a lot of folks getting out on the road, moving slowly. Some of this is from backups from crashes, but a lot of drive times on major stretches are double the time that they usually are at this point in the morning. Now, like John was mentioning, I haven't seen a lot of crashes South Metro, Southeast, or Southwest Metro, so that's been a positive out of this. But I have seen a lot of crashes clearing. This one is one that hasn't cleared, though. This is in Bloomington 494 westbound, right near Washington Ave. This crash still taking up a lot of this left lane. Traffic moving slowly as you move toward the airport and Mall of America. I'd add at least 10 to 15 minutes to your commute if this is on your way to work or school. A lot of slowing happening. I'm going to show you more crashes when I see you next.
Cece, thank you. And yeah, the State Patrol actually just put on X here about less than 2 minutes ago. Crash numbers from midnight until 8 o'clock just this morning. So this was just 5 minutes ago. 83 property damage crashes, 4 injury crashes, 1 fatal crash, 21 vehicles off the road and 5 spinouts, 1 jackknife semi. And that, again, is just from the overnight hours and up until now. So, yeah.
Just goes to show you how dangerous it is out there on the road. So just be careful if you're heading out this morning.
And which is why today is a KARE 11 weather impact alert morning.
Yeah, snow falling across the metro, but it's north of the Twin Cities that is seeing the most. Our Audrey Russo is in Forest Lake with a look at conditions. Have they gotten any better at all, Audrey?
Well, Jason, in the last hour or so since we got off the air, we've seen more plows come through this area, do a couple more pass-throughs. This is Highway 35, and we've seen a lot of cars kind of driving at their normal pace, but as you can see, there are still stripes of snow on the roadways. Those stripes of snow are really going to present a hazard if you are trying to change lanes, if you want to try to get over, because again, you're not on bare pavement the entire time. The plows can only do so much. They can't clear things off 100%. I actually just got an email from the MnDOT, the MnDOT communications representative, and she tells me that at this point in the morning, if you go to the 511 map, you'll see different colors, but it only paints a small portion. So if you see a pink road, that means that it is covered in snow, yes, but she also encourages folks to look at the PlowView cameras and to also consult some of the other weather indicators that they have on that map. That paints a fuller picture of what you're going to be seeing as you head out on any particular highway. The coverage of snow, she says, is only part of the story, because as you can see, there is still snow covering part of this highway, but there's also ice underneath. There's slush in some parts. On our drive up here from Golden Valley, we were hitting pavement that we thought was completely bare, but we were feeling a little bit of a slick spot in different parts of the highway. So it's just important to be slow, be smart about it, check the 511 map before you head out, because again, you'll see different colors indicating the level of clearage on the roads, but you also have to check some of those cameras, check some of those other weather indicators to get the full picture of what your commute looks like before you head out. Jason, Alicia?
Definitely got to get back into winter driving mode. It's been a while, but winter's back. All right, Audrey, thank you for that. We'll see you a little bit later.
Before you head out the door, make sure you have the free KARE 11 app on your phone. You can use it to get customized forecasts, weather alerts, and live radar anytime. All you have to do is just pull out your phone right now if you don't have the app and aim your camera at the QR code right there on your screen to download it. And the other big story that we're following, in less than 24 hours, new tariffs will take effect against some of the United States' closest allies.
Yeah, President Trump will speak with leaders of Mexico and Canada today who are hoping to avoid a trade war. The U.S. will start collecting its tariffs after midnight, dealing with their three largest trading partners. Two of those partners are already promising retaliation. President Trump slapped a 10% tariff on all Chinese goods and 25% tariffs on most imports from Mexico and Canada. Mexico and Canada ordered tariffs of their own. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau putting up a matching 25% tariff, also set to start tomorrow. What started all of this? Well, Trump's blaming the three countries for the flow of immigration and drugs into the U.S. He called out Canada for being, quote, abusive of the United States.
They don't allow a lot of things in, and we allow everything to come in. It's been a one-way street.
But it doesn't have to be this way. As President John F. Kennedy said many years ago, geography has made us neighbors, history has made us friends, economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies.
China hasn't ordered new tariffs on U.S. goods, but is planning to file a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization for wrongful practices.
Mexico plans to release its own plans to retaliate today if the tariffs take effect. As international backlash grows, here at home, lawmakers are speaking out against the tariffs.
The estimate of all these tariffs is that it will cost the average American family $1,200 in 1 year. It will be doubly hard for Minnesota because Canada is our biggest market for trade.
Senator Amy Klobuchar says she supports targeted tariffs like what the U.S. imposed against Chinese steel, but says widespread tariffs do more harm than good.
Demonstrations are happening nationwide today to protest the Trump administration's immigration policies. Protests began over the weekend from Georgia to California. Starting this morning, businesses across the U.S. will shut their doors for a Day Without Immigrants demonstration. At least one St. Paul business, Michaelandia Bar and Grill, is joining the cause.
Turning now to the deadly plane crash in Washington, D.C. This morning, crews will begin lifting wreckage from last week's deadly mid-air collision out of the Potomac River. NTSB trying to figure out how an Army helicopter collided with an American Airlines plane. Officials have recovered the helicopter's black box, which is being sent to a lab in D.C. So far, 55 of the 67 victims have been recovered.
In the last 24 hours, loved ones of the victims visited the site. Family members held a memorial along the river, then stopped by the runway where the flight was supposed to land Wednesday. A large wreath was laid for the victims. The Washington, D.C. fire chief says he met with families over the last few days.
I will say that they are a strong group of families that are focused on getting their loved ones back, and I think that's the appropriate place to be at this point.
Over the weekend, the Army identified the 3 other crew members that died on the helicopter. They were Chief Warrant Officer Andrew Eves, Staff Sergeant Ryan O'Hara, and Captain Rebecca Lobach.
We're learning more this morning about a scare at MSP Airport. A flight heading to Amsterdam was forced to turn around after a mechanical issue. Delta says the pilots on Flight 160 reported an issue yesterday with its flaps. The flight circled in the air for about 40 minutes to burn off fuel before landing. It landed safely with firefighters standing by.
Well, at the state capitol, week 4 of the legislative session kicks off here in just over an hour. In the Senate chamber, it's the first day on the job for Doran Clark. He won the seat representing District 60 in a special election last week, replacing the late Kerry Dietzick. His win gives the DFL a 34-33 majority. Then House lawmakers are scheduled to meet today, but they could be forced to immediately adjourn again if the DFL boycott continues. Over the weekend, the House did not reach a power-sharing agreement with House Republicans.
The Timberwolves looking for redemption tonight after an ugly loss to one of the NBA's worst teams. They fell to the Wizards 105-103, snapping their 5-game win streak and breaking the Wizards' 16-game losing streak. That is not good. Among other injuries, Anthony Edwards missed Saturday's game. He's questionable for tonight's home matchup against the Kings. Hopefully he can play tonight because got to get back on track here. And don't forget, the Wolves' 5-game homestand wraps up here on KARE 11 this Saturday. They're taking on the Portland Trail Blazers at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
All right, 8:12 here on this Weather Impact Alert Day. Look at a snowy Minneapolis. When's the last time?
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. And this week, John, I know we got to get through today, but this week we're in store for even more snow, really.
Definitely. I mean, this week is an active week. Got a chance on Wednesday night, and we got a chance on Saturday. Both definitely looks like they're going to hit kind of the same area. I think both paths on the next systems are going to take a shot at central Minnesota. So we do have this winter weather advisory. That is going to be out until noon today. I expect this to really wind down by 10 o'clock. By 10 o'clock this morning, in my opinion, this is going to be done. But it does look like, there's always a lingering effect for obviously the snow that has fallen on the road. Give it a little time. I do think we could see 6. Maybe I could have put 5+ on there. I have seen 4.5 inches so far in Alexandria. Things are winding down back there, but they could come in around 5. Most places in this zone are at 2 to 4. I will tell you the Twin Cities is in this. Really, they should have cut Hennepin County in half because the northern part of Hennepin County is going to see 2 or 3. Southern part of Hennepin County, not much, maybe half an inch. Eden Prairie has 0.5 inches, and that's it. That's all I'm expecting there. Current radar does show you where the snow is still ongoing, and we're seeing a little bit of this flurry activity pull through, but more of the accumulating snow is still up to the northeast, and this is going to be about the last half hour of it, and that'll be it. East Bethel, Forest Lake, you can see ongoing snow. If you're jumping on if you're going to jump on the interstate right now, obviously the roads are still bad. If you have a chance or an option, I should say, to do so, wait. The roads will really improve at 10 o'clock. They're going to be bad from now until 10. It's going to be a log jam. After 10, the roads will clear, and then things will really start to improve. I do not expect the same deal in the afternoon. Right now, and where the roads are going to be at their worst is going to be on this line from White Bear Lake, 35E down to St. Paul, and then north to St. Paul up 35W as well. Coon Rapids is seen over 2, Forest Lake is seen over 2, and this northeast side and even east side, like Woodbury, has seen 1. But when you get to Minneapolis south and the western part of the viewing area, Plymouth, Eden Prairie, Maple Grove, maybe not Maple Grove, but Plymouth, Minneapolis, and Eden Prairie all have less than 1. You have to get up to Champlin, Maple Grove, Rogers to start seeing the impact. So this is better than this. Elk River area, it's definitely been a mess this morning. Forest Lake's kind of been the bullseye here this morning. Ongoing snow, North Branch as well, Hugo, areas over towards Osceola, it is still snowing. But if you get to the back, it's wrapping up here. Again, this is going to be wrapping up by 9. Let's call it 9 o'clock. always give it an extra hour to buffer because the roads are a log jam right now, like I said. So again, the alert goes out until around the middle of the day, and then the afternoon things are really going to improve. This is just really for road conditions at this point. The impacts weather-wise, pretty much wrapped up here, like I said. Turning it over to flurries, this is the last band here. Models give us that, what they're seeing right now, just lightening up, and we're in the process of this. By 10 o'clock, it's over in Menominee, and then by 11:30, it's definitely done. It might flurry, we might have some precipitation, but we're not going to be dealing with widespread accumulating snow after 9, I think. For sure 10 o'clock, and 11 we'll just hang on to the flurries. Here's what it looks like here as we get the tallies. We're kind of in between right now of getting actual accumulations and still using model accumulation. I do think this comes in pretty good. It looks like it's going to verify from what we've been getting so far. Again, this is a model that we agree with this, did a great job. Twin Cities, 0.8. Eden Prairie, 0.5, Waconia, 0.5. That's exactly what has happened. Still, obviously, snowing up here, and I do think Cambridge, Osceola, Hugo, and Blaine, this is the 2 to 4 inch zone, and East Metro, Lake Elmo, South St. Paul, Woodbury, 1 to 1.5 inches, and again, I think that will verify. You really got to get to St. Cloud to Elk River. This is where you really got the shovels going, and this is where the impacts will be continuing. 16 degrees tomorrow. Tomorrow is a nice break tomorrow before we ramp up here as we go into Wednesday and Saturday. So Wednesday, 25 degrees, snow showers likely. I'm not sure exactly where the band's going to set up because we got to get through this first. We're still 48 hours plus out, and my rule of thumb is 36 hours out is where we start to really gear up. You don't want to forecast too early or you'll screw up. Saturday, snow showers again. That one's way out there. What we know is there's going to be snow in Minnesota. I don't know who's going to get it, but we've got a chance on Wednesday and Saturday. So it's better to take that and expect snow so you can be prepared when it does happen. Otherwise, yeah, it definitely looks like winter. Almost every day besides Wednesday is below average.
Well, while John was talking, a crash cleared up just literally a minute ago. 35E northbound between Pennsylvania Avenue and Maryland Avenue. There are a couple vehicles involved. Some lanes were blocked. Now you see lanes are all back open, and you're seeing that backup kind of move as you make your way towards 35. So I would continue to add some extra time to your commute in this area for the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, you should be okay. I'll show you where more crashes are when I see you next.
8:20. Thanks for joining us here on KARE 11 Plus, streaming right now. A live look from Forest Lake. Right now, you can really see the snow is blowing sideways here on this stretch of the interstate. We have impact, KARE 11 weather impact alert morning. It's been snowing since essentially we came into work, at 3 in the morning this morning. But yeah, depending on where you're waking up, you're going to definitely get more or less. Pretty much that 694 part of the Twin Cities metro and north is going to get the brunt of it.
Yeah, that's kind of the dividing line there. So in addition to all the snow, a handful of schools have also been delayed this morning because of the slick roads. Let's check in with Cece right now for an update on the commute, which hasn't been a great one all day.
It really hasn't. I mean, like I've been saying all morning, 694 and 494 are where I've seen the most crashes, the most vehicle spinouts. So just be careful if you're on that stretch. I know there's a crash on 94 or 494 right now where it's slowing things down significantly. 694, you're kind of seeing that as well. So take your time in those areas. And also drive times, not even on those stretches, are double what they usually are right now. So leaving early is the best practice for today.
All right, thanks, CC. Yeah, we still got this impact alert that's going to go out here for the next few hours. But again, we're starting to see things improve a little bit. Definitely looks like this area was accurate with the winter weather advisory. Northern parts of Hennepin County is where we really saw the 2 to 4 inches of snow. And then in between, really got to be embedded in here where we saw 4 inches. If you were outside of this box, boy, totals came down quick. Carver County saw 1/2 inch. That was it. So this has been really just to the north. Plymouth north, a lot of snow. Now we got one little batch here of some light snow that's still pushing through here. Even Carver County, we're getting some flurries, but the accumulating snow, we're saying goodbye to it. It's out in Wisconsin. This is still accumulating snow, but it's the end in Forest Lake and White Bear Lake. This is not going to be much accumulation. This is more snow globe snow, which is for the eye to see but doesn't cause impacts. This, however, is what has been causing the damage today, and it's still snowing in Forest Lake. If you're ready for a break, you got that in about 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes or so, and we'll be done. Because you can see back out here, interstates up towards Alexandria, where they picked up 4.5 inches of snow, are set to improve. 94 is going to be improving as we go throughout the day. So again, the impact alert continues through the morning, and then by the afternoon, things are going to improve. And I do expect, even on the back half of the morning, roads are going to be fine. We're just playing this cautious. But again, the precip is ending an hour, I would say, earlier than anticipated. So things are wrapping up. Temperatures are key. We're in the middle 20s today. So be careful out there before we cool down tonight.
because the time that you should add to your commute is continuously going up. This is in Bloomington 494 westbound, right near Washington Avenue. A lot of tow trucks on scene, police presence on scene blocking this left lane. And as you're moving toward the airport, you should add about 20-25 minutes to your commute while this plays out. Things backing up all the way toward 169. So that's just a heads up for you. John's in next with your forecast.
And on the radar of our last moments of snow, and it looks like it's still impacting more of that Forest Lake Osceola stretch. We are, however, getting one little dusting and one little last gasp of snow here from Plymouth through Minneapolis and St. Paul. The heavier snow has been Osceola to Forest Lake. Again, that's where we continue to see that accumulating snow. We'll see what totals come in like up here, but it looks like more 2 to 4 inches near North Branch, Forest Lake, and Osceola. We have seen a couple of reports about an hour ago at 2 inches. On the backside of this, we're wrapping things up. This is it. A couple of flurries in Waconia, and that'll be it. Weather impact alert goes until 11 o'clock. We are going to see roads still deteriorating for a little bit, so be careful. But the afternoon, with temperatures in the 20s, it should get better as the day goes on.
Welcome back. Thanks for starting your day with us here on KARE 11 Plus. We are streaming, and this is a live look from Forest Lake right now. As you can see, the snow is still coming down this morning. It's been snowing since about 3 o'clock this morning, and that spot is really where John said the bullseye is this morning in terms of how much they're going to get.
Yeah, no doubt. And the snowfall is causing problems on the roads as well. CC
Yikes.
is tracking your drive today in a few minutes. We've seen a number of backups, crashes, spin-outs.
Even a fatality, State Patrol.
Exactly. It's been a while since we've had measurable snowfall like this, so I think people are still trying to figure it out on the roadways.
Unfortunately, anytime, even if it's a dusting, if you're down in Eden Prairie and you got a little bit, or if you're Forest Lake, it's people just kind of forget.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I've learned time and time again, I've learned that the amount of snow, it doesn't matter. It's all about the timing. And the timing of this one was obviously bad because obviously 2 to 4 inches of snow. In Minneapolis' sake, it was less than an inch. That's not a ton of snow, but with it starting at 2 or 3, that I'm learning that's the absolute worst time to start because no one's on the road. so the snow can just collect and then people jump on the road at 4 or 5. So this is the band for the winter weather advisory. It is going to go till noon. I think they'll let it roll till noon. I could see that things are wrapping up about 2 hours earlier than anticipated yesterday. Happens a lot. But I would say through 10, it will be bad. And we're going to leave our impact alert through 11 o'clock, but just be cautious through the morning because obviously there's still snow. Forest Lake, it's still snowing. The afternoon, things are going to improve very quickly. Now, 2 to 4 inches if you're in the purple box, but not everybody's going to get 2 to 4. I would cut, I know they don't really do this, but Hennepin County, you got to cut it in half. Northern Hennepin County is getting 3. Southern Hennepin County is getting almost 0. So Eden Prairie is seeing half an inch, and that's all Eden Prairie is going to get. So we did see the last tail of this. It's literally the last gasp of Forest Lake getting their snow. It has been snowing up in Hinckley quite a bit as well. I think the bullseye today was Hinckley to Forest Lake into the metro. Once you got to Circle Pines, Lino Lakes, then it tapered off very quickly into the cities. That stretch on 35, of course, up towards even Brainerd on I-6, going in and out of Mille Lacs, that was also a road that picked up 3 or 4 inches. But again, accumulations are just starting to come in here, but looked like 2 to 4 in that area. Metro has some light snow right now, Plymouth to Eden Prairie. Could we see another 0.1? Yes, this is pretty light, but it is some what I call snow globe snow. So again, visibility is dropping a little bit. This will be about it through 9 o'clock, and then things will taper off after 9. There's that one little band of snow that we saw there in Forest Lake outside of Forest Lake. You see Osceola still getting some snow. Osceola, you guys picked up definitely enough to get the plows and shovels out. 2 to 4 inches in Osceola. Going back out towards Hutchinson, St. Cloud, things are winding down. Alexandria, you guys picked up 5. Things are winding down up there as well, but that was the winner. Again, I don't have all the totals, but if you guys have totals, you can send them to my Facebook page, or you can go to the National Weather Service, whatever. They're both going to get, I'll send yours to the National Weather Service as well, but any info is great if you guys want to send us your accumulations. I've got the weather impact alert through 11 o'clock. It looks like it's shedding 2 hours earlier than last night. Like I said, very common on weaker systems to end early, and this one is ending at 10 o'clock. By the time we get to the afternoon, we're going to let the impact go, and we're going to be going into the middle 20s. The good thing about today is middle 20s without a crazy wind. It's pretty strong, but it's not crazy. Brian's going to work. Plows are going to work. They've been doing a great job this morning, and we are going to cool down tonight. Now, notice 11 degrees by 9. It will be a cold night, especially if we clear out. We could start seeing 0 degrees again. By tomorrow morning, we could see 0. So we're really on that last gap. Model did a good job picking this last one up here. So that's now. And then as we go into the next hour, you see 10 o'clock. It's in Menominee. And we're done. 11:30, just some flurries. And then we can get that cleanup going by the time we go to the afternoon. So I don't have all the official measurements. I have a few. But this model did a really good job because I have 2 measurements in Alexandria at 5 or right around 5. So this model did a great job. So I'll use it almost as fact. 0.8 in Minneapolis, that's right. I have a lot of reports so far at 0.5. So you could see Lake Elmo. I also got maybe a little bit more. Woodbury saw about 1.5 inches. Little more snow on the east side for St. Paul. The losers this time, if you want to call it that, Waconia, Prior Lake, less snow on 212, areas near Chaska. Much more snow, Osceola, Cambridge. You guys are coming in around 2 to 4. Elk River around 2 to 4, and same with St. Cloud. I text my parents in Champlin. They said they got about 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and that's right on what this assumes it's going to be. 16 degrees tomorrow. Tomorrow is a cold day. It's going to start off around 5. Some of us are below 0 tomorrow morning. Depending on how much cloud cover we get, we could see temperatures crash this evening, and that's very typical with some fresh snow. Now, things are going to change. Let's talk about Wednesday. Well, I guess it's already changed. Today's day number 1. Wednesday, we got another system. So Wednesday, if you have plans Wednesday morning going to work, you're good. Wednesday evening, now things are different. Wednesday evening through the overnight hours. I would say Thursday morning has the next chance to be like this morning. And then you could see the band now. Look at 12 a.m. I do agree that the better chance for snow is this area here. Twins, kind of where we're at today, same deal on Wednesday. But I think this one's going to be a little bit bigger of a swath on Wednesday. So again, low pressure centers are finally moving to our south. So we can be in this is what I call the snow belt. Anything north of the low is the snow belt. Finally, we are there. But depending on where this low crosses, if it crosses over southern Minnesota, that leaves the bullseye at Brainerd. If it crosses over northern Iowa, that leaves the Twin Cities as a bullseye. Can both happen? Yes, absolutely, 50-50. What do I know so far? I know this is going to be out there. We know it's going to snow, but is it going to snow in northern Minnesota, southern Minnesota, central Minnesota? I don't know yet. We need to get through today. Models need to be able to take the snowpack, because what the models do is they're trying to take, and maybe this is nerdy, but we're on KARE 11 Plus. So what does a model do? Well, it's trying to ingest all the current information and then predict the future. Well, when you have snow falling currently, models are taking incorrect data, right? They don't know how much snow fell. Once the system passes, the models collect actual good data, and then it will change this forecast. Again, when it's getting bad current information, that's why I don't trust things when there's something going on right now. Again, there's a reason behind everything, but that is it. Now, I will show you this. I didn't put the numbers on here. This is the GFS model through through Sunday. This is 6 to 12 inches for the state. So we have what, 1 now? That means 5 to 11 inches are going to be on the way for some of us through the weekend. Is that likely? Yeah. I forecasted last week we'd double our snow totals in February, so it must need to snow. Yeah, Wednesday and Saturday is your day. We also got the Timberwolves on KARE 11. What a great day to stay inside and watch some basketball. Cece?
Hey, yeah, I mean, like we've mentioned all morning, it really depends on where you are in the metro if your commute's going to be bad or not. I mean, this is on 35E. This is in the Burnsville area. Good morning if you're waking up there. No, barely any snow on the roadways. Now, if you're headed up toward the Lino Lakes area, that's where you're going to see more of the snow-packed roads, slow-moving areas. That's been the case all morning, especially along 694. Now, if you take a look at the wider map, we're seeing that things are still very slow. A lot of folks getting out there trying to leave early, but then running into slowdowns from either crashes or just moving very slowly because they don't want to get in a crash, which is a good idea here. Now, if we take a look at this map here, I mean, it's looking a little better than when I was looking at 4:30, believe it or not, as far as crashes go. I mean, State Patrol saying from 12 to 8 a.m. things weren't the best out on the road. Even I know Alicia mentioned a fatal, unfortunately. Now I'm seeing less than 10 crashes out there, which is good for the slowing that we're seeing right now. So the message for this morning, take it slow as you're heading out this morning. Add some extra time. A lot of the drive times are double what they should be at this time, even as we head towards 9 o'clock. So just be aware of that as you make your way out the door this morning.
Cece, thank you. And as you've been really saying all morning, it's causing quite the issue on the roads for folks.
Yeah, but this weather is expected to be worse for areas north of the Twin Cities. Audrey Russo is up in Forest Lake. She has been looking at the impacts on the roads out there all morning. Audrey, what are you seeing?
Well, we're seeing a lot of sideways snow, Jason and Alicia. I'd say the snow's been hitting this side of my face pretty much since I got out of the car at 5 o'clock in the morning here in Forest Lake. I got 35 behind me. Just about 30 seconds ago, we saw a plow drive through the Forest Lake Rest area and pull up onto the highway. It is headed northbound. That is where they need a lot of the plow efforts this morning. Taking a look at the 511 map that MnDOT puts out, we can see a lot of the roads up north of Forest Lake still show either complete or partial coverage of the roadway with snow. Out here in this area, you can see that the pavement is bare in the lane areas, but there are still some stripes of snow on the roadway. And because it has been snowing pretty consistently throughout the morning, you can actually see a plow on the southbound side right now. You can see some of the mist coming out of the plow. So because it's been snowing so consistently, one pass through is not going to be enough. Obviously, they need to keep on working out here. Now, since we got off of the air at 7 o'clock and moved over to the stream, obviously the sun's come up. That has helped visibility a little bit, but still, as you look a quarter mile of the road either way down the street, things start to get a little bit tough to see. So this is one of those situations where, of course, taking it slow, being mindful of the fact that just because you see bare pavement doesn't mean there's not ice patches. That's something that you need to just be aware of as you're heading out for your commute. But yeah, they're great, from a standpoint of people are taking it slow. We've been watching the cars drive northbound all morning, and they're seeming to leave a lot of room, so that's great. But just again, be mindful of leaving enough distance of the car in front of you, and just be mindful of some of those ice patches, and you should be safe. Jason, Alicia.
All good pieces of advice. Just got to be slow out there. Audrey, we appreciate your reporting. We know it's not been easy reporting in the elements out there.
She needs some goggles, I think. It's been blown in her face all morning.
Yeah,
that would be helpful.
We'll try to get those out to you. Get back inside. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Audrey. And hey, a reminder, if you live in St. Paul and drive and park there, the city's new snow emergency pilot program is now in effect in the Payne Phelan and Highland Park neighborhoods. Public Works is trying out a weekly one-sided parking cycle during snow emergencies. It's going to be an even-odd parking schedule. So every week, instead of a daily swap, you just park on the even one week and then switch to the odd another week. Sunday is a designated day to change over for people to move their vehicles. Want to see how that works? Well, hey, if you haven't done so already, you can scan the QR code or go to your app store to find our KARE 11 weather app. You can get customized forecasts and live radar at any time. The other big story we are tracking this morning, the leaders of Canada and Mexico are going to be speaking with President Trump here in a matter of hours in the hopes of avoiding a trade war.
But that's exactly what will happen if the president's tariffs take effect at midnight. Trump plans to slap 25% tariffs on most imports from Canada and Mexico, plus a 10% tariff on all Chinese goods. And in response, all three countries are retaliating with tariffs on American goods.
The scope of this is huge. Think about all the oil and lumber we get from Canada, the produce and car parts from Mexico, also the plastics and computer chips from China. President Trump admits on Truth Social in the last 24 hours there may be some pain. Expect to feel the effects of tariffs when businesses pay more to import, increasing the overall cost of goods. Some examples: the U.S. is the largest market for Mexican tequila. More than 1 million Tonka toy trucks are sold here each year, and all of them are made in China. Also, Canada is a big supplier of cherry tomatoes. All these impacts is something Canada's Prime Minister is warning Americans about.
Tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump.
I'm not concerned. We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that, but long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world.
Mexico and Canada have promised retaliation, including Canada's 25% tariffs on $155 billion worth of American products. A portion of that will kick in tomorrow, just like Trump's. Back to you.
Michelle, thank you. Let's turn now to the deadly plane crash in Washington, D.C. In just a few hours, crews will begin the process of lifting the wreckage out of the Potomac River. It was less than a week ago that an Army helicopter collided with an American Airlines plane near Reagan National Airport. The NTSB says they've now recovered the helicopter's black box, which is being sent to a lab in D.C. Officials say they've also recovered the bodies of 55 of the 67 victims killed. Divers right now are still searching for the remaining 12 victims.
In just a few hours, the alleged ringleader in what prosecutors have called the biggest pandemic funds fraud case in the country is slated to go on trial. Amy Bach was the executive director of Feeding Our Future. She's facing bribery and wire fraud charges. Her trial starts today alongside the owner of a former restaurant that claimed to be a meal site. Two other co-defendants pleaded guilty last week.
Well, time now 8:45. We are learning more about what led up to a Fridley boys basketball player assaulted while on the bench. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office is now charging 5 people between 16 and 19 years old. Court documents allege the group brought weapons, including a tire iron and a knife, into Cooper High School, where they bypassed the ticketing entrance. Those documents also allege the group walked towards the 17-year-old athlete before attacking him with a tire iron and attempting to stab him. All 5 have been charged with second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon, as well as second-degree riot with a dangerous weapon. An update this morning on a big story in the South Metro. Eden Prairie High School will be changing their graduation date. They initially scheduled it for June 7th, the same day as the Muslim holiday Eid. Last week, parents and students packed the school board meeting in protest. The school is now sending out a survey to determine a new date for the ceremony.
Well, health alert this morning. The Minnesota Department of Health reports seeing an increase in flu, RSV, and COVID-19 cases. MDH officials say influenza is the most common of the 3 respiratory illnesses spreading right now. 157 schools across the state and 61 long-term care facilities are currently dealing with flu outbreaks. Overall, hospitalizations are holding steady over the past 2 weeks. Over in Wisconsin, the health department says flu cases are very high, as is RSV, particularly among children under 5.
All right, 8:47, taking a live look outside this morning, a winter wonderland here in Minnesota once again. Snow has been coming down here. And John, this isn't it for the snow. We are entering a more active pattern.
Yes.
You were saying last week that we're going to definitely start packing on the snow here as we head into February.
Yes, I think this is a good February for people who love winter. Let's just put it like that. Cold and snowy. And now January still came in below average, 0.7 degrees below average in January, despite that record warmth. Isn't that remarkable? Also, we are at the 13th driest winter of all time for snow. So there's been 12 winters with less snow than this. Let that sink in. This is not that uncommon. So we're going to ramp it up. Again, you just need a pattern change, and that's what's going to happen today. We got winter weather advisories that's out until noon. I see things wrapping up right now. I think they're wrapping up. If you guys are watching live, 8:48, probably be done around 9 o'clock. We're just seeing this last little gasp of some light snow moving through the metro. Forest Lake, they can start cleaning up. Again, there's about 2 to 4 inches up here. But this is the radar, definitely slowing down from this morning. Very busy morning, right out of the gates. 3 to 6 o'clock was just coming down. Now we have this, still some light snow. If you can hold off for 1 hour, I think you're going to love it, because by 10, the accidents will start to clear, people will get off the roads. And not only that, I think the roads are going to improve quite a bit. Now, don't be fooled by this image. It's worse in the North Metro than the South Metro. It's just winding down as we speak. And again, Forest Lake looks like just some flurries. Audrey's been out there all day. Excuse me. And, you know, it snowed on Audrey the entire morning, and now she's going to be done, and it stopped snowing. How about that? So we had Audrey was doing a great job out in Forest Lake, and that is the spot. I think that will come in at the most for the Metro. St. Cloud, Hutchinson area. It's done, and that confirms that we're wrapping up the snow. Here's your weather impact alert for the next hour or two. Again, that's just for the roads. Let the roads start to clear. Things will improve. By the time we get to this afternoon, we'll be in the middle 20s. The brine is going to work. The roads should be good to go. I don't think it's that cold to have black ice or anything like that. I am a little concerned with tonight. Watch out for tomorrow morning. We could get some spots well below 5 degrees. It's going to be a nice bitter cold morning. That could refreeze some spots, and likely will. So as we go throughout the next hour, you could see this is it. This little tail will move into Wisconsin by 10, and then we'll just see some on and off flurry activity as we go into the second half of the day, just flurries. Accumulations look like this. The model did a great job here. This one did. I picked this one because Alexandria, we have reports around that, and we're just wrapping it up. So again, I don't have all the exact reports. Probably have that in about 2 hours, but this is pretty accurate. Osceola, Cambridge, 2 to 3 inches. I called my parents. I was like, Mom, get out there. 2 inches in Champlin, and that makes sense. 1 to 2 inches over there. 1 to 2 in the North Metro. 1 to 3 up in Elk River. I guess 2 to 3 when you get up to Albertville, and then a little bit more in St. Cloud. But as you get to the south, most places here from Plymouth south, 1/2 inch, and that is accurate. Once it stopped snowing in Eden Prairie, that was it for the morning. It snowed from about 4 to 5, and then just some flurries. And Southwest Metro got missed again. Seems like the Southwest Metro has just not been able to have snow. Tomorrow is a quiet morning. We'll have temperatures at around 16 degrees in the afternoon, single-digit lows, teens in the afternoon. The average high is about 25. So yes, that is definitely cold. So here is the big picture. Snow is coming in on Wednesday. Here comes the low. The timing of this is mainly the second half of the day on Wednesday. You are going to see some light snow start in the afternoon, but it looks like it's mainly the nighttime hours Wednesday, and that would potentially mean Thursday morning. I got to say potentially because this is going to move. This is going to shift 3 or 4 hours in one way or the other. It's either going to move earlier or later, and that's something we'll watch Wednesday and then Saturday. The two next up are Wednesday and Saturday for accumulating snow, and in between those days, it will be chilly.
I want to show you that drive times are slowly starting to get back to how they usually are at this time. I mean, if you're taking 35W or 35E south headed towards 694, this is usually 10 to 12 minutes. Things getting slightly better. Now, once you do hit 694, it may be a little dicey, but you may have to add a little extra time in that area. Monticello to the Fish Lake split is still double the time in that area. I know that's been a trouble spot this morning, but if you're heading in from Hudson, going to the St. Paul area, things getting back toward that 15 minutes. So you see in each area, it's just adding a few minutes, which is much better than where we were at 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. We'll be back.